Hey everyone, it's Anna here at Deeds, and we have another beautiful wreath kit for you for the summer season. This one would take you through fall because the colors are so beautiful, and everything you need to create this kit is going to be up on shopdeedslouisville.com. This is the Coral Poppy Grapevine Wreath Kit. So the only thing not included in your kit is the 18-inch grapevine wreath, and these are sold separately up on the website, but it's a great size for a front door. And we're going to start out by adding this really beautiful leaf greenery stem. It's got a little twig and a little berry going on too, and we're going to chop it in half because this wreath we're going to decorate a little bit at the top and a little bit at the bottom. So I'm just going to simply chop it in half. I've already taken a few seconds to fluff it like I normally do. I'm going to take the bigger piece and I'm going to dunk that end in hot glue, and I'm going to push that into the bottom of the wreath right about 7 o'clock. And you can see the way I fluffed it. It allows for a little to come this way and a little bit to go up that way too. So I've got that on there. I've got the other piece too. I'm going to do the same exact thing, top right corner up here about 1 o'clock. Let's see here. I'm going to do this, fluff it out. I'm definitely going to bring this one kind of down. I want it to cover a lot more of that grapevine, and it's a pretty nice airy stem. So you can see that one stem did a lot of work covering up that grapevine, but still kept it nice and open. So next up, I've got this really fun coral berry stem. Again, it's very big. We're going to chop it in half, just like we did the greenery stem, and we're going to use it in the top and the bottom. So I'm just going to chop it in half. Dunk the end in a little glue. This one I'm going to kind of go straight down into it. Bring some berries to the left. It's kind of got all kinds of textures on this one. It's got some twigs, it's got the berries, just all kinds of pretty stuff. So just make sure it's secure in the wreath, and then you can kind of bend them wherever you want. All right, and then the other part of that stem, same thing. Dunk it in a little glue, push it into that wreath form, and then move them around where you want. That's what's so nice about all the stems being wired. You can have a little bit more control over where things go. All right, we are good. Next, we're gonna add ribbon before we add in our poppies. And today I've chosen 3 different ones. First up is this gorgeous plaid. And the reason I chose this green plaid that's got the two-toned green is because it has this nice coral stripe running through it, and I thought it would be super pretty with the poppies. So we're gonna take that in our hand, and we're just gonna make a couple little loops. And then next up, we've got this green Swiss dot, same pretty shade of green, kind of goes with the plaid. We're gonna make a couple small loops of this one as well. And then lastly, we're just gonna take this coral dot right on top and just do a little piece of it. Since there's so much coral going into this wreath, I didn't wanna do loops of it and overwhelm. We're just gonna do about a half-yard piece there. So now we're gonna take our wire, tie that off. And this is the slightly larger bow that's going to go towards the bottom. So I'm just going to twist it on right here. Kind of right in the middle of all of that greenery I've added. Trim the tails. All right, and then you can take a little bit of time and move your bow around, but we're gonna add some more stuff on there, so you might wanna do it at the end. And then at the top, we're gonna do a smaller bow. I'm just gonna do a piece of this one. I'm gonna do a couple little loops of the green and then just a piece of the coral as well. So I really want this just to be a small touch of ribbon at the top and not as much as like a big bow. So go on and tie that off. And you're going same thing, right up top, twist it on kind of where the middle of that floral is, and then trim your tails. All right, now we're ready to add in our poppies. So for the poppy stems, I did 2 different bundles. These guys are so gorgeous. They have such a good color to them, and they come in really packed tightly, so you're gonna have to fluff them. But what I'm gonna do is they come with this little raffia tie on it. You're just gonna take that off, and then you're gonna pull the stem apart, and you're gonna see it comes apart in chunks. So you've got these nice little groupings to add into your wreath. So what I did was, there's 6 little groupings, and I did it so we could have one at the top and one at the bottom to really look nice. So start out with the grouping that has the biggest poppy on it, and that's just a single short stem little poppy. But look how pretty it is. Look at the color. And you want to put this in a spot where you have a hole that you need to fill. So I'm just going to dunk it in a little glue. And I'm going to go right here to the right of this bottom bow. The color on these is so pretty. So next up, slightly smaller. Every single one of these is going to have to be fluffed a little bit. So it's going to take just a little bit more time. But when you're done with this wreath, it's going to have a nice full look to it because of all the poppies we're going to add. So there's another one kind of to the top left of this bow. There's one more big poppy left in this one, and I think you can probably see too where it needs to go, and that's right in there where there's that big gap. So we're just gonna take a little bit of glue and just push it into our wreath. It's fighting me. There we go. So pretty. All right, so then what's left on this little grouping is a couple berries. We'll just kind of go up here with those, kind of behind that bow, going up. There we go. And then the rest of it is just like a little bit more greenery. There's one that's got a slightly like lighter green hydrangea piece on it. You're just gonna fill in kind of wherever you need it. Let's go down here with this one. And then I'm actually gonna push that poppy a little bit towards the center of that bow. It's so pretty, the colors. Okay, now we're gonna do the exact same thing, but we're gonna do them all at the top of the wreath. So same thing, I'm gonna put this big one kind of right in the middle. Let's do the slightly smaller one. Down. There we go. Got my glue strings all over that. Let's move those. Pretty. Okay. Let's go with the one with the berries, kind of off to the right here. All right, and then here's one more poppy. I'm just going to kind of step back. Definitely think it needs to go up towards the top left of this bow. Right in there. And then one more little hunk of greenery. I'm gonna go right down here. All right, you guys, super easy. You can tell this one took a little bit more time, just kind of, when you have stems like that are more cut apart, you're gonna have to take a little bit more time with placement and things like that. But this is a gorgeous wreath. I love the colors in this one. It's nice and rich. And now you can see why this one would take you all the way through the fall if you wanted to leave it on your door. So go ahead and head over to shopdeeslouisville.com and grab yourself the Coral Poppy Wreath Kit.